morning, everyone.
Buenos días.
Welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I'm trying to get on. This is so frustrating. If you jump on too quickly to Facebook, it won't pop up the video. And then after that, it just goes to like nothing. So here we go. I found us. There we go. So good morning, everyone. I am the badass Buddha, Lori Monaco, coming to you from a 29-degree Southern Connecticut. It's very pretty outside. It's very white. We had a little bit of snow and then a little bit more snow and then rain. And it was just a slushy mess yesterday, but it froze over. It looks very glistening and pretty, although not fun to drive in. But anyway, because good morning. Who am I? Who am I really? Who are any of us? I am a chiropractor. I am a teacher, speaker, coach. I am a international best-selling author. And my workshops and my coaching are all mindfulness-centered and transformational. And what else? I don't know. I'm a gardener. I mean, if we want to keep going with this, but we don't have that kind of time. So good morning, everyone, because I don't want to bore people. We want to get going with the juicy nuggets. Besides, we'll never get to you. So there you go.
Mi gente, aquí con la Margarita. And I want to go back to something to what she said about gardening. And it's so funny because I think we all need to garden, whether it's on our back porch, those things. I think, can you imagine what it would be to create it, to gather the dirt, to touch it, run your fingers through it, put the seeds in and watch it grow? Like that's one whole experience on its own. But then you get to eat something that's organic, hecho a mano. So let's all think about that. Maybe we need to have a discussion about that, badass. I don't have a green thumb, but I've been looking up all these, creating that wooden box and creating this garden in your yard and in your house. So that was interesting. You brought that up. I am the Gladiator Guru. I am your writer, artist, author. I am your spiritual coach and your sacred healer. I am your end of life doula. I am La Margarita, your magically orgasmic, morena guapa. Buenos dias, good morning, namaste. Let's make Tuesday great. Because this is how I'm feeling today.
Me too. Who says you have to be limited to your coffee in a coffee cup? You could easily put it in a nice martini or a flute.
Salud.
Salud. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Milagros. So happy that you're here.
Yes.
And what coffee are you drinking this morning in your beautiful flute glass?
Because I really wanted a mimosa. I am drinking my Cricket Whispers Naturally Orgasmic Cafe. This is my house blend espresso.
What a coincidence. I'm drinking Cricket's Whisper too. Magically Orgasmic coffee. And mine's not the house, but mine's the medium, right? The medium roast one.
Yeah. And I put a lot of coffee with a little bit of water, and that's what I mentioned about that. But thank you. That made my heart flutter to hear when people are drinking my coffee. And remember, you can DM me if you want to order. So yes, wow, we have Milagros. Buenos dias, Tiffany Bryant.
Deb Wojtek's on. Good morning, Deb. Yes. So little by little, again, remember, share with people, send them to your pages, let them know you're watching so they can come on too. Remember, the goal for 2022 for Viva is to really skyrocket. We really want to make this tribe huge. We want to make it strong. We want you to have a lot of support in whatever it is that you're doing. And so the best way to do it is to have a bigger tribe, to be able to share their wisdom and be able to comment, even if you're not watching it live. Although watching it live is just such a fun experience. But
who doesn't want to watch it live with us?
I know, but I guess people just
We're
can't
like the
fit
coolest
it in.
morning people. And then if you want to showcase your coolness, just DM us. And then that's what the show's about, empowering. And then let's just make it happen,
Right. That's right. Let's make it.
Yo sí que soy gran cosa, coño. I am hot shit. Okay? And I'm going to say, I'm a self-proclaimed.
Look at that. There we go. That's it, Jonathan. I'm cool as fuck.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
Yep. And I'm
Shit, I
sexy
don't
as
need
fuck. So
nobody to
we're
tell
good
me.
company.
Nobody got to tell me I'm the bomb.com. Look at, I'm aging myself, but I
The
am.
bomb dot.
Yeah, I am. I am that cool friend you always want to skip school to hang with. Come on down. 8 o'clock Tuesday and Thursday, Papa. You know where I'm at? So
If we skip school, where would we go? That's what I want to know. If we're skipping school, where are we going?
I was a terrible influence. I used to love to smoke weed. I was a terrible influence, but we had fun. Very daring. Then one day my father caught me and he's like, Margarita, your mom thinks you're in school till 2 something and it's only 10 something in the morning. If anything happens, nobody's gonna know until after school when you don't show up home. That's why I can't go back to school. Now he's like, okay, let's hang together. So we hung out, me, my best friend Sonia, and my dad. What was he gonna do? I had already skipped, but yeah. But you know what? I was always been an adventurer. I was always like the school. It gets monotonous. It gets boring. The teachers lose
Yes.
interest in teaching.
Yes.
The students, there's no sabor. You know, it's like they just cook that chicken bland with a little bit of salt and pepper and no sazon, so it has no color, no sofrito for the flavor. They didn't put garlic in it. And then what you're at with the students not wanting to be there,
If you went
pretending
to
they have,
cooking school, maybe they would. If you went to
so
Puerto Rican cooking school, they might have done that. I don't know.
I don't know how anybody can eat a pale white
Now,
food.
you know what? It's a hard, there's so many different elements there's so many different types of schools now, and there's so many the kids fit in different ways. There's some that are really, really good at going the regular route and just following suit and doing what they do, and then you have those such as yourself that just rather be somewhere else and experiencing life. And you would have been better in one of those schools that just you travel and you do and you experience, and that's how I feel about my youngest, well, even my middle daughter. I think my middle daughter, though she's 18 and she's out of regular, lower level school, but it's never too late. It's never too late to get them out there. And that's the intention for 2022. My intention for myself, but also for them, is to adventure as much as possible this year so that they could experience. I mean, they experienced last year when we went on that 3-week trip, but we were just doing so much driving because, just for so many reasons. And the goal for this year is that if we're going to do that again, I'm not, I'm gonna plan it a little differently, but I wouldn't mind doing another drive. I was thinking about this yesterday. I wouldn't mind doing another long distance drive. It was actually pretty cool. Good morning, Liza's on. We also have Mochir Ramen. Good morning. Aylid Medina. Good morning. A lot of new faces. This is so fabulous. So if you're new to the show, make sure that you say hi in the comments so that we could pop it up onto the screen and that we know that you're there. And welcome to the tribe. We're thrilled to have you here.
Bienvenido. I had someone I was talking to yesterday, a friend, and she's like, because Viva blah, 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 because she can't say Viva Cafe con Leche. It's like a tongue twister for her. But she says Viva, like if she's Latina. She goes Viva blah, blah, and I love that.
Bridget, good morning. Great rising, Bridget. I was just thinking about you this morning, Bridget. That's so funny. I said, I haven't seen Bridget. And then here she is. She popped up like slut magic, as Gladiator Guru would say. Bridget might not prefer that term, but we mean no harm. But it's funny. Bridget, it's like the energy. I was thinking of you, and there you are. So listen, fabulous.
Every time Bridget's in the room, and I'm like, the power of pussy. She's like, she salutes it, P.O.P. And I love that about her. But so, when I was a freshman, I had sophomore English and history classes. When I was a sophomore, I had junior. And when I was a junior, I had senior classes. So I was always ahead. Math was always my terrible. So by a raise of hand, how many people here hate math? Like half the shit we learned in school, we're not using it.
I don't hate it. I'm just not good at it, and I have no interest in it.
I hate it when I was forced to do it, and then I just skipped the classes. So math and science were always at the end of my day, and those were the classes that I like always skip. But for the most part, I loved school. I had like this very interesting English teacher. But anyway, tell me, traveling, you decided you were missing out yesterday. You were thinking about your trip. So what do you have planned going forward?
Well, the thing that I have planned going forward soon is, so in 3 weeks, my kids and I are gonna go to Costa Rica, which will be really exciting, and I appreciate the
Woo!
opportunity, and that thanks to my sister. My sister's going out there, and so she's, allowing us to, not allowing us, but she's offered us the opportunity to hang with her, which I'm really appreciative of, so that's exciting. So I'll be broadcasting 2 of the Vivas there. Hopefully,
Hey,
we will get service because I would love to be broadcasting right from that. So we'll
hell
see how
yeah.
that goes.
The way Ephraim broadcasted from the beach when he was on not too long ago, which is literally his yard. 'Cause,
I know.
So
I
I
know.
think that's beautiful. I think
Yeah, I've never been, so I'm excited, and I haven't traveled out of the country in, oh my. I haven't
oh,
been out of the country since I was, 18,
wow, that's
so
a long
quite
time.
a while. But
Well,
you know what? I really enjoyed my in-country trip last year. So again, for those of you joining us, right, we decided to have our coffee in, a little different this morning, and you could drink your coffee any way that you want to. This is we can't really be drinking alcohol because we're back on the program and we're doing the detox and we're set to hit our weight goals for this year. So we're settling by drinking from this and having our
mhm.
coffee. And it was Gladiator Guru's idea. So do what
Because
you
I
will.
wanted a mimosa, and I'm like, I need to detox. I need to detox, and I know that if that maybe not a mimosa, but just plain champagne or even a shot of tequila. I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna be at that moment, but I'm gonna say fuck detox for today, and I'm gonna take that shot. So, humana, humana, humana.
Phenomena.
That's where I'm at.
So so our topic for today, and then we'll just mention it, and then we'll get into it in a moment. Our topic for today is: Am I living or simply existing? And this goes with all our topics. We constantly remember the goal is for us to be disruptors, which we'll do our mantra in a moment. And so the only way for you to change, and live the life that you really, really want to live, if you're not living that life, and to break those bad habits, is to disrupt yourself, not disrupt other people necessarily, but if it disrupts them in the process, that's not your problem. But this is
That's
you. This is you. We're focusing on you. So am I living or simply existing? We're calling you out on that. We're making you check in to see, like, did you do your year-end review? I'm still working on mine because I keep putting it down. So I'm going to call myself out on that. But it's to just check in. And we are now on day 18 of 2022. And I know Gladiator Guru said any 12 months, but it is that sometimes people have that momentum in the beginning of the year. So we are going to check in with you 18 days in. And are you still just living? I'm still existing, or are you actually living your life? What have you done in the last 2 weeks that have been different than what you did last year every morning that you woke up? So we're going to be talking on to that topic. So what do
yeah.
you want to do, Gladiator Guru? So
Well,
let's mention.
I want to talk something like you said. Yeah. About being disruptors. I think that if we want, like anything, this has been around since I've been on this planet 53 years, maybe prior to that. In order to make change happen in your life, you must, and we forget it. Chaos, drama, trauma, pain comes in. Kids, which I associate with drama and pain. No, I'm just
Sometimes.
I'm talking grandkids if you're listening to me, and I have adult grandkids. Um, we forget about this, right? We're just an existing part that is just going with the flow because of what everybody needs. So we must take our power back and begin to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And if we become uncomfortable with our shit that we were doing last year, then that's when things start changing. So, and that's what this is about. It's about disrupt yourself, disrupt the shit out of your normal routine, And that's what the badass Buddha is doing. By in 3 weeks, she's like, fuck it, I'm out to Costa Rica. It's too cold over here. I got to do something. She hasn't traveled since 18 years old. I bet you she didn't feel
Well,
the
I haven't
same
traveled out of the country, but I've traveled. But yes,
out of
out of
the
the country.
country. So you didn't go nowhere. When people say you travel, I don't mention that I was here, there. I'm like, oh, that's right. I was in Vegas. I was in Texas. And that's amazing. Like for her to do that, like I'm like, oh my God, it's like I almost want to go, but I have my travel plans for May, so I can't go nowhere,
Well,
right?
that's just it. That's just it. You have that's you're putting together your travel plans, So the goal is to do stuff this year,
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm almost done with my journal. It is called My Journey, My Journal. And it's called Understand Her, which is that
Mm.
person that we've shoved aside or shoved down or told to shut up because everything else came before. So it's about understanding her and connecting and uniting to that person that you just shut up to fit the needs of everything else around you. That's what that journal is about. It's about slowly going back and say, come on, mama, it's time. I'm sorry I put you in the corner, but come on, let's go. It's ready to come out. So that's what that's going to be about. And what Badass said earlier is I don't say 2022. I said in the next 12 months,
Yes.
I'm going to seek health and happiness, which if I'm healthy, then I'm happy. And if I'm happy, I'm meeting my goals and I'm challenging myself to raise the bar as far as I want it to go, as far as I can have it, where I can accomplish things and not make it so unrealistic. So the journal is for 3 months. So you're going to check in on your ass quarterly because to me, idle time is the devil's playground for me. I'll fuck up. I'll wait until the last minute and be like, oh my God, I don't got time. That's me. I know me. So I have to break it up in 3 months because, okay, so from here to March, this is what I got to get done. And I've been slacking. I've been focusing only on one thing. So that now I'm putting myself behind. So then I said it out loud to you so I can check myself. But yeah, so then the following 3 months, what are you going to have? So by the end of the year, you're going to have accomplished 80% of everything you wanted done. Let's keep it real, 80%, because everything in life is 80-20.
I love this, Bridget. Yes. I was purging too. Like this is a good time of the year to purge. You don't have time at the end of the year. So, or quarterly, every quarter, if you purge, how about doing that? Just like Gladiator Guru was saying with the quarterly thing, quarterly check-ins or weekly check-ins. I decided to do a daily check-in for myself journal. And so, but I do it the next day. So what I do is in the morning, I sit and do my breathing exercises, and then I ask myself specific questions about the day before. And then I set my intention for today. How do I want my day to go today? Not a list of to-do things, but how do I want to feel about my day for today? And then the next day I go and I check in and then I see if it matched. And I've never really done this before. And so it's really, and again, my big thing for last year was I just really wasn't checking in. I wasn't aware. A lot of things slipped through the cracks.
Yeah.
So this is a big thing, Bridget. I went through 20,000 emails on Saturday. I started Saturday, went into Sunday, and I deleted 20,000 emails from my one account. And I didn't even bother, but my other one I don't really use at all, but my business account, which is also partially my personal account. So and I'll tell you what, shedding sometimes takes too damn long. So burn away, baby.
Burn.
And it's very cathartic. Very cathartic. I'm working on my vision board. Yep. Me too, Liza. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't. I gotta go to my daughter's house to do that. I don't like them. I don't know. But yeah, so that's wonderful. 20,000 emails takes a lot of patience. I could barely get rid of 600. Where I'm
oh my
like,
God,
I'm done with this shit. I'm like, click, click. And then you got to go and click the ones you want to save until you can put them in the right folders.
Right.
After
And that's
600, I'm like, fuck it.
And that's the thing. See, what it showed me was the fact that that's when you just keep letting stuff go. And so it's about prioritizing, and while if all it takes is a second for me to look through what's in there and then click the click all and then delete them, because it's so much
Swipe,
easier to
swipe,
scan it
yeah.
day to day. So why do I put it off day to day? Why do I do that? So that was the big question for me. It's like, don't put off anymore. Yes, so Chanel was late coming in, so we're gonna call you out on that. No, we're drinking actually Gladiator Guru's Magically Orgasmic coffee. But we decided to change it up a little bit. So we want to drink it in what we feel is exciting to us.
Yeah,
So
because
this
we
is
wanted mimosas. And
living.
Badass told me no. She's like, no, why don't you just pour the coffee in it? I was like,
Yeah.
okay, we got it.
We're living, not just simply existing today.
Yes.
We're mixing up. So let's do our intention. And we already started this conversation, which is fabulous. So let's do our intention and our mantra. And we're going to have all of you do the mantra together with us as usual. So go ahead, so the intention is to be intentional and Gladiator Guru.
Grateful. Be grateful for everything you have in this
All
moment.
right. Absolutely. So be grateful and intentional today. And our mantra for today, everybody, you could close your eyes if it's possible. And if not, keep your eyes open if you're driving, please. And repeat after me. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
Spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
Whew, I am magically orgasmic, baby. What?
And I am beyond authentic.
And I am beyond authentic.
That's right. Breathe it in, shout it out, whatever you want to do. And say it numerous times during the day, especially if you believe it and feel it.
When I wrote that, it's because that's how I felt about myself. I am, what is that word I want to say? What's that word, Laura?
I don't know. You keep asking me that and I never know lately. Never know.
I am authentically not happy living in my celibacy.
Authentically not happy living
in
my celibacy.
So those words it's been over. Yeah. And those words are always like, I am magically orgasmic, because you know what that taught me in choosing to be celibate at this time in my life. What it taught me was to value the beauty in other things. And that's how, when I speak about your five senses and how an orgasm can come by tasting that first sip of coffee in the morning, or listening to the melodic sounds of the birds first thing in the morning when you're having your coffee, or when you're driving and you see just joyfulness in kids and 90-year-olds still holding hands, and all of that is orgasmic. And I guess I had to do what I did in order to view that, but not saying that you have to do it. But what I'm saying, it's out there. When I speak because it's something I experience. It's something that I know. So yeah. So be happy where you're at. I'm happy where I'm at in my life today. And this is why are you living or simply existing was an important topic for us.
Yep.
So
you have to be reminded. You have to be, because I think that's what really, again, we can't say it enough. We have to keep saying it because we refuse to go back to it. That's the thing. 2021 was challenging for myself, Gladiator Guru. We've talked about it. It's been challenging for a lot of people. And the only way to prevent yourself from sliding back is to put it out there and remind yourself and be aware. It's just like losing weight. I gained a lot of my weight that I lost back because I slipped so badly last year. And it wasn't because I just wanted to go back and eating the way I was. It was because I was heading into depression. I was binge eating, and it was really not a good headspace for me. And so to be aware of it, and then now that puts me out there and makes me aware of the fact of everything that I'm eating every moment of the day. And so it makes me put the effort in, so we have to call ourselves out there. I don't want a repeat of last year. Now, last year wasn't all horrible, but I still wasn't 100%. Like my greatest thing that I did last year was I went away 3 weeks with my kids. But when I look back at the pictures, most of what we did was drive, like granted, we didn't, we were a little bit limited because we had the dogs and we couldn't leave them in the room, when we were gone for a day then. But it's now hindsight. It's like, okay, you know what? I want to go back to some of these places and I almost like want to do a do-over, but what am I going to do differently? You know, how am I going to be able to allow myself and the kids to have like a really good time and explore, you know, because that's the piece. It was great and it was a great experience, but it was actually representative of who I was at that moment. Just a traveler, a viewer, if you want to say. Like
I
I
like
was
that.
really viewing and just sitting there as opposed to I was like very mildly participating. And so that hit me, you know, pretty hard when I really stopped and thought about that because nobody wants to admit that. You don't want to admit where you kind of like, you know, where you fall short or where you failed, if you call it a fail, you know. And so, but the only way to change and to not repeat is to acknowledge it and then feel it and say, how did that make me feel? I'm looking back going, I didn't like, I had opportunities, you know, to a certain level. I'll tell you, the best opportunity we had on that trip was we decided to go from Utah just for a day trip to Idaho. And we could have spent a couple of days in Idaho and we kenneled the dogs for an overnight, you know, and we had that was where I had the most pictures of like where we did this, we did that because we weren't restricted by the dogs. So how do I do it differently next time? I'm gonna have to
Kennel
use
the
an RV
dogs.
or
That's it.
not take the dogs too. But them
Oh,
going that long, I'd have to take, and I like taking them. It's a good experience for them
well,
too.
you're better
So
than me. But I wanted to
good
say,
morning, Desiree.
Desiree. You
Desiree,
know,
you're here.
yesterday I'm like,
And Wanda, good
has
morning.
Desiree been on the show? I haven't seen her. Well,
No.
Desiree, I'm so happy to see that you're here today, Mamita. I hope you're
Oh,
feeling
and
well.
Mary Jo, my
Wanda
cousin Mary
Stower.
Jo.
Yes, that's awesome. And then Chanel says she's drinking JP Morgan coffee. What is it, JP Morgan? Like I'm thinking about money.
JP Licks from Boston. Sounds
JP
good. Sounds like a coffee that Gladiator Guru would drink. I'll have
JP
some
Lick.
JP Licks. It's magically orgasmic.
I like that. Well, about coffee, let me say what I wrote for the coffee today. Coffee. Café is, for those Spanish people follow, I'll interpret. There's so much passion and love and understanding lost in translation, so I'm going to try and do my best. El café es el beso de pasión a primera luz del día. Es mi abrigo de amor, mi alma sincero. Café es vida. Viva la vida. Says coffee is that kiss of passion, the first light of the day. It is that warm blanket of love. It is that spirit, that most sincerest spirit of my moment. Coffee is life. Live life. See how I lost his translation? I can't even say it with the emotion that I did the way I wrote it in
Oh,
Spanish.
sorry, Wanda. I spelt your name wrong.
Pero café es vida. So yes, that's how I feel. And I'm grateful for it.
And I love see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the tribe. Liza wrote, and we all know Liza. Liza's very upfront with us, and we really, really appreciate that. And she's a little crazy, which is really fits in perfectly with us.
Crazy.
So,
her spirit's just woke.
I fall all the time and I hate it. And yes, you know what? Listen, you know, sometimes people will say, oh, you shouldn't be negative and you shouldn't hate. Hate is real. You know, hate will sometimes push us. When you are not too upset about something, you don't move. But when you hate it, it's like that freaking it's that thorn that just keeps getting sharper and more pokey. And so that's where you just acknowledge the things that you fall on, because we never really worry about the stuff, like the stuff that we're good at, that we know that we got. We don't really talk about that, but we have to acknowledge those too. But then acknowledge the stuff that you fall on and then share it with us and see how we can help. You'd be surprised. You know, maybe the stuff that you fall on, Liza, is something that Gladiator Guru and I do really, really well. And then something that we fall on is something that you do really well. And then we can all work together to help each other.
And that's what it is. And going back to what you were saying, because this is like awesome. You know, when people speak about being authentic and about shifting mindset and being in that positive mind thing, they don't want to think about what she just mentioned. I don't talk about that because it's negative. Wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
If you are being intentional, if you're living authentically, if you have a mind shift and all this kind of yogi stuff that's been around forever and has been adopted in the USA, and then all these people are suddenly like gurus, life is yin yang. So if you're in this positive mindset, then you must be open and leave space for the negativity, because guess what? If you decide to be, I'm just going to be positive, I'm going to get away from all the negative family members, and so you're always going to stay here in your positivity. There's not going to be anything to challenge you. And if you're so authentic, then be honest with yourself. If you don't like something, say it. If you don't need something, get rid of it. If something's bothering you, fix it. That's being authentic. That is you saying, you know what? I fucked up. Liza, my kids, to this day, when I was in Connecticut last week, I felt like a month. And I'll go out and my son, you know, the first thing he tells me, Liza, Margie, watch your step. Don't be falling. Because I'm always falling, physically and spiritually. Because when you're a sacred healer, when you're a spiritual coach, you know what? You feel things. And my mantra is exactly what I would say. Accept, acknowledge what happened. Accept that it happened. Right? Feel it. Because only pain drives out pain. So you got to relive it. You got to feel it. You got to acknowledge it. You got to accept it. You got to feel it and then release it. And that's what you do. 4, because it is only when we fall that we rise with knowledge. We rise with the knowing that we can do better next time.
Right. Exactly. So today's conversation, am I living or simply existing? So this is what Gladiator Guru came up with. Can you smell the roses? Can you taste the sea? Can you feel the grooves of the tree? Do you live to arrive at point B from point A? Like, are you just going with the flow? Are you just existing? Every day you get up, you do the same thing. You go to work, you deal with your kids or your grandkids or your or no kids. You do the same thing. You come home, you watch the same shows, you eat the same foods, you go to the same places, you talk to the same people. You just what is your routine like? And how can you disrupt it on a daily basis? And maybe you can't disrupt it necessarily on a daily basis, like in a big way. So just disrupt it in a small way, but then plan for the bigger piece. Okay. Think ahead. Okay. Don't get caught up in the fact that we have all these variants going on and all this stuff is happening. That is not going anywhere. And that should not stop you from going. Do you think I'm a little nervous about going to Costa Rica with all this stuff going on? I think what I'm nervous about, and I'm not going to put it out there, but I'm just saying it, is that I'm nervous that I'm going to be told I can't come back into the country. That's what I'm nervous about, right? Because that's a possibility. It's also a possibility that the weather's going to suck. It's February, so a flight could get canceled or delayed, and I could, whatever. But that is the reality that could happen. I will put out positive thoughts, but if it happens, I will shift. I'm not going to sideline myself because I'm afraid to go. Okay. Now I just have to make sure that I do all the necessary things to allow me to go, like have to take out insurance in Costa Rica, health insurance to go for the week. And I have to do the test. So it's more legwork, but I don't want to be afraid to go. Now, was I apprehensive to go at first? Yes. When my sister first offered this to me, I didn't really want to go. And then she said, I booked it, and I was kind of pissed off at her. And then I said, well, it's really tight on money because and she's like, it's my gift to you. So I was just like, oh, okay. Can't get out of it now. I guess I could, but I had to deal with all that stuff. And so I just looked at it and said, all the excuses, right. And I said to myself, if I'm wanting a different year, then I have to start off in a different way. And so I'm going to go away. So to disrupt yourself, look ahead and say, okay, what weekend can I take a weekend off? What week, where can I go? You know, what vacations can I take? What drives can I just take? It doesn't have to go on a vacation. What fun activities can I do? And just start planning ahead. Look at your calendar and say, I'm going to shoot for this. And don't just make, this is what I used to do. One vacation a year. I would 1 week plan for the one vacation in the summer with the kids or whatever. And I realized that I don't like doing that. Like, I want to go away more often. And I didn't do it. I did it for like 2 years and then I kind of stopped again. So now it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to add this to my, what did I do for 2022? Right in February, boom, I'm going away. Right?
That's awesome. You got to do it. See, if you want to do something different, yeah, Tiffany, that happens. And you can sway, because I've always been a free spirit. I've always done my thing. When I worked at the phone company, I'll call my sister on a Wednesday morning. I'm like, Janet, you want to go to Puerto Rico this weekend? She's like, I said, okay. And then I would walk into the credit union and tell Virginia, can I get a loan? And she's like, you're going away again? I'm like, yep. And I would get it, deposit it that same day, buy my tickets, and Friday night, my sister and I are flying out to Puerto Rico for the weekend. Or I would call her and say, Janet, what about Florida next week with the kids for Disney? And Janet and Stephanie and me and my kids would be there. Why? Because I've always lived life wonderful. Maybe it was because people try to snuff my life in the beginning. They tried to make me believe that everything was just dirt and coals. And I was like, hell no. I had a good paying job at the phone company, loved it. And so I always traveled. And then Tiffany, like you know, we become where everybody else and everything else comes first. But then you come back to you. So make sure you come back to you, because after Eric, remember, I went to Spain for a month and a half. I thought I was going to die, but I went. Then I went to Hong Kong, Thailand, Bali. You can do anything you set your mind on doing. The only one who prevents you from living is you. So in order to start that, disrupt yourself from your own beliefs. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't wake up and peruse social media or go on all these training things, right? What are they called? And you see on social media and you listen to people and where they're at, because I can sit here and tell you I'm up here. I'm just right here right now. I'm like in the best place in my life. I'm right in the center where I have to make certain decisions. I got to challenge myself to see, is this going to bring me up or is this going to bring me down? Let's try it. So don't get yourself away from thinking you're not good enough. And if you do that, then everything else will fall into place. Then you can travel. Then you can say, you know what? My sister got me this trip. I'm going with my kids. And that's where the badass is at. She's like, at first I thought about blah, blah, blah. And now I'm looking forward to it. And that's what we have to do. Get out of your own damn way and start living. Because to exist, anybody can do that. Just when you're out, look around. Look at people walking like they're in a fog, like they're just, programmed. Like they're that remote person. Don't do that.
Well, and we know better because, think about it. As we've aged, I swear it just gets, no, you're right. We see this. How about that? We don't know better, because if we knew better, we would do better generally, or we know better sometimes, and still the fear gets in the way. And we just keep thinking we have time with, we'll do it later. And we do the same thing over and over again. And the next thing you know, it's like years have gone by, and we see that as we get older. It just doesn't, like, the year always goes by so damn fast. It's like we always say, oh my God, it's the end of the month. Oh my God, it's the middle of January already. And then next, it's, oh my God, it's the end of January already. And then it's June. And then it's June, and so we have to, that's why it really is important. And I've learned this the hard way. It really is important to check in with yourself. Like, you have to check in every day, once a week, once a month, quarterly, and then yearly, because you've got to make sure that you're hitting the mark. You can't sit there and do that. And I've done that. And my business went nowhere last year because I just wasn't paying attention, and I didn't want to deal with it because I just kept sinking. If you're sinking, you can before you get too far down, you can wake yourself up. You can reach out for, ask somebody to throw you a lifeline, and say, I need help. I already see where I'm going. So I don't want to go that direction. But again, it's if you're just existing and you're just doing the same thing over and over again and not catching yourself, next thing you know, it's going to be months later. Good morning, Kathy. Ruiz is on. Good morning.
Well, Liza and Desiree says she misses us so much. She's been sleeping badly. I'm glad you're on, Desiree. I'm sorry. You know what? This conversation, I have 3. Start writing this down. Look at Iris. We put tires on the car and left from town fair. Yep. In 1996, I was like, Iris, what are you doing? Let's just go to Florida. She goes, I don't have tires. We went, put tires on. We hit the road with the kids. And that's it. Mind you, I had a husband who didn't like to travel. So I was like, see ya. Hey, by the way, tomorrow I'm leaving here to Puerto Rico. I'm leaving there. You want to come? No? Okay. And that's how I lived. And that's the Margie that I love. That's the Margie that was full of passion, who was vivacious.
The nomad.
That's the Margie that has arrived. So watch out now, because I'm here. Because you know what? That's it. So
slut magic.
That's it. So
celibate slut magic.
And you know what? I will pop up like slut magic everywhere I want to be, not where people tell me to go or where I think I need to be for somebody else. This is it right here.
Yeah.
My youngest grandchild is 1, Savannah Ray, love you. My oldest is 19. The 2 in the middle are the boys. They're doing just fine. My kids are grown. That's it. I've always been here. But I had this year where the badass said that everything was like slowed down and everything. I thought I was in a seasonal, well, I was when my mom passed away, but it was also just sitting down and reflecting. And I never allowed myself that time to just say, sit the fuck down.
And right. We didn't stop. Yeah, we didn't stop to review, So
I talked to the badass and I said, I'm feeling this. I feel like I have no purpose. I feel this. And all it was I was like watching an old movie of myself. Like, oh, wow, that was it. Wow, when did she get like that? Speak up, yell. And that's how I saw myself, talking to myself. And then I went home for the Christmas holidays to Connecticut. We all got COVID in the house, and I became so creative. And it's like, poof, I needed that family time. I'm up, I'm creating. I got my stuff written down, and all it takes is you putting one foot in front of the other. So the 3 things that I want to share with you today.
Wait, before you do that, I want to post this. This is pretty cool what Iris wrote. Iris said, that's the Iris I loved. And Iris, that is a very big statement. And first of all, thank you for putting that statement in there, because it's important for us to think back to the time, like if there was that piece of us that we've lost. Some people never had it, but for those people, I mean, I've had it, but I didn't have it with the mentality that I have now. But the adventurer who I was in my 20s, who would just get up and go. I want the combination of the adventurer and the one that has the mentality now. So Iris, this is perfect. That's the Iris you loved, but you want to be Iris 2.0, 3.0, 10.0. You want to be the new Iris and use the pieces of the old Iris that you loved and bring them back this year. So that's what you're going to do. All right. So thank you for sharing that. And yes, you feel better now. Absolutely. Now it's just a matter of, that's what I'm saying. You're like Iris 10.0. You're the new Iris.
Yes. I love all the Irises.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So share your things, my love. Go ahead.
But I love this chatty catty right here. Woo! Iris, go. You haven't called me back either. Just 3 things that I want to share for you, just to keep in mind when you're asking yourself, am I living or am I simply existing to be here for everyone around me, including your business? You die tomorrow, someone's either going to close it or someone else is going to take over it, and nobody's going to miss a beat. You are the most important factor in everything you do in your life. whether it is to walk your dog, whatever, you are doing it in that moment. It is your essence. It is your spirit. It is your body. It is your smile. So 3 things. Number 1, never lie to yourself. That is how you live and not exist. Don't lie. You don't like something, say it. You want something, grab it. You know that you want to do something going forward, plan it, work for it, save for it. Number 2, never lie to yourself. You don't want to be around somebody? Don't. You want to incorporate yourself into something? Do it. Okay? You want to buy a meal for a homeless or a name brand purse? Do it. It's your life. It's your money. Number 3, never lie to yourself. You want to be authentic? You want to be courageous? You want to be unapologetically courageous? Don't lie to yourself. You want to lose weight because you want to be healthy? Lose the weight. Not because you want to look good for the next person. Nobody gives a shit about that. Nobody sees you. You see you. You know you. You feel you. So don't lie to yourself. Whatever it is that you set out to do in this existence of your life is to live. Is to live every moment. Is to savor every morsel of food you put in yourself. It is to listen to music and let it flow through your spirit and make your spirit dance. It is what you set forth to do with your life. So if you want to do something, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Because you know what? This past year, the worst phrase that I hear and keep hearing that just really it's like nails on a chalkboard is I didn't have a choice. Fuck off with that.
Yes.
Everybody has a choice. You either choose to do it or you choose not to do it. But when that excuse, when you're, are you using fear as a clutch or are you using faith as fuel? Because if you value who you are, if you have your moral compass, your core values, if you believe to stand up for what you know is right, even if you're standing alone, then you know you have a choice. So don't use that excuse anymore. Stop lying to yourself. If somebody says, maybe you should do this, but you have a different set of values, you know what? I would love to go trekking the Appalachian Trail, but I don't want to. I read about it. It sounds fantastic, but it's something I don't want to do.
That's right.
I'd rather walk the flatlands of Florida, So that's what I'm talking about. Stop saying,
and plant your flag in the flatlands. I walk here. This is where I walk.
This is the magically orgasmic section. Listen, everybody has a choice. And every time you say, oh, well, let me just do it to shut them up. Or let me just do it because if not, they're not going to let me be. Or you say, no, I'm not going to do it. Why? Because I don't want to. Why? Because I don't want to. Do I have to give you an explanation? If you want to waste your spit and giving somebody an explanation who's trying to force you to do something, that's on you. But you know what? Every time you give in and use the excuse of, I didn't have a choice, you're giving away your power. You're giving away your strength. It's like the kryptonite for Superman. So choose wisely as you're living forward, not existing, because people who exist just don't. Those are the ones that say, well, I didn't have a choice. And yes, you do.
We always have a choice.
Always have a choice.
The problem is that we don't want the choice. That's
what I said. The biggest excuse that I am so disgusted with hearing this past year was, well, I didn't have a choice. You have a choice. You get up every morning and you do something. You have a choice. If your choice is good, if you making a choice that they don't want to hear is going to hinder a certain way that you're living, then that's your choice to decide.
Correct. Yeah.
To get in line with the masses or to say, fuck that. I can go there. I know my value. I know my skill strength. I can go and take it here. That's what's living. Living is standing up and saying, no mas, to me, following behind. I wasn't born a follower. I was born to be inclusive into a tribe, into a circle, into a fellowship. I was born to be a team member, to be of service to humanity. but I was not born to be in a line and be somebody's number. So you just got to choose where you're at. And don't lie to yourself, number one. Don't lie to yourself, number two. Don't lie to yourself, number three. And that's where you can say, I have healthy boundaries. Thank you, Kathy Brewers. My boundaries are healthy. My conscience is clean. And my spirit is flowing like the wind, the way it was born to do. And no more. I mean, if you're going to continue to exist, that is your business. And just like I'm saying to choose wisely, nobody, not the badass Buddha, nor I, can tell you, oh, stop existing and just live. We're giving you the two parts of how we experience life, especially in the past year, because that's the most present past, right? So it is your choice to exist and just follow everybody, or you live and you say, hey, badass Buddha, yeah, you're going this way. I said that I would go, but I thought about it last night. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go over here. And that is so respectful of yourself. That's so much honoring yourself. That's giving who you are value. And it's letting the badass Buddha know, thank you for inviting me. So you're honoring her for it. You're acknowledging that she even invited you. And then you're saying, I thought about it. I appreciate it. But no, I'm going to do this. And guess what? Buddha's going to look at you. And the next time somebody invites her somewhere, she's going to say, I have something scheduled. Oh, yeah? What? I thought you didn't have anything scheduled. Yeah, I scheduled a date with myself. So I can't go here because I got to do some soul searching at that cafe over there. That is your true existence of living in your moment. So exist, but live while you're doing it. Thrive. You can't just sit here and breathe. You got to breathe. Right?
That's right.
So nunca te engañe, nunca te engañe, nunca te engañe. Because you're only lying to yourself, and then you're going to get mad with the world. And guess what? When I come across you, that's not my issue. So keep that shit over there. Because I have my boundaries. My guardrails are up. I know who I am, what I like, what I don't like. I'll smile at you, but you disrespect me. Your ass is going to stay over there. I don't need to say anything else. But that's because I'm not going to lie to myself. Because nothing is promised. This world is living in such uncertain times. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So be grateful in today. Be kind in today. And as the badass Buddha says, be exceptional today. Be authentic. And live like it's your last day, and live it with love, and live it on your terms. That's all we're talking about. Be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes, absolutely. And we want to shout out good morning to Arlene Kelly. Thanks for being here. Gail Ann Marie, thank you so much for coming on. Janet Ortiz in the house. Good morning.
Ortiz, you met her at the Ajusta Tu Corona. She wasn't feeling well that night, but she is like this iridescent ball of joy that's just all over. Like you can't, like when she looks like an orb. She's everywhere, and you see her. She's always smiling, and she's like 4'9". And you saw her. She was at the.
No, what did you say? I was
Janet Ortiz.
Oh, Janet. Yeah.
The beauty. She's just always everywhere. So thank you.
So Kathy. That was, that was fabulous what you said. Truly, I love it. Number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself and then get mad at me because I'm telling you the truth. I don't. You know what? And no, go ahead.
And listen, sometimes it's not that we even say, oh, the sun. Sometimes it's not even that we say, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not that even we say, I have no choice. Well, we think it. So you may be slick and go listen to Gladiator Guru and going, oh, I don't say I have no choice. But in your head, you're thinking I have no choice. There's always a choice. The problem is it's the choice that you don't want to make, and that's why you hesitate. If it was easy, we would do it. That's the funny part. If it was easy and there were no consequences, we would do it. And I know I'm right there with you. we are not separating ourselves from here. We are not above and beyond. We are real. We are authentic. We
We're
are
just as fuck
real
up
life
as
people.
anybody else. Yeah.
Oh my God. And
that's
we
as
did.
real as we're gonna get. You know what? We all make mistakes. We all say, we don't text back when we should. We don't call back when we say we will. We're all guilty of some way, shape, or form, right? We're all of it. We fail ourselves with, I gotta go do my nails. Then I'm like, it's too cold. Good morning, Arlene.
Good morning, Arlene.
From Orlando. You gotta come over. So there's no perfection. And that's why the badass Buddha and I, we come out here, we try to be so real as we can be. Why? Because life is about falling down, Liza. And you do get tired of falling down. But I look at it this way. When every time I fall down, it's just to say, okay, I guess I didn't get it the first time because I'm such a free spirit. I'm like, woo. I'm like the first, second, in the garden,
the third,
that everybody gets mad at because I'm like, oh, look at something shiny and go over here. And then I'm like, oh, I'm tired. Let me go to sleep. We're all going to fall down. But the beauty
she's definitely that way. I am too, but she's definitely that way.
Definitely. So it's not how many times we fall. It's how we rise after each fall.
And what we learned.
That's where the lesson is. That's where the lesson of your life, because the badass Buddha can fall 5 times and I'm going to fall 10 times. I'm like, what the fuck? Why do I keep falling? Our lessons are different. And how you choose to rise and what you choose to learn from that fall and your rise is up to you.
Yes.
So if you are just going to say, fuck, I fell down and get up and be mad because you fell down, then guess what? You're going to fall 5 more times within the next hour. Why? Because you're being stubborn of learning about what you want to learn. And a lot of people, and I'm going to say something that might upset people, a lot of people will prefer to stay ignorant. They will prefer to stay ignorant. Well, I didn't know. Well, what the hell? Learn about it already. How old are you? Oh,
get out of the way. Listen, if you're choosing to be that way, get the hell out of the way, out of the path. So sometimes I have the strength to walk over your ass, but sometimes I don't. And so just get out of the damn way. If you're walking too slow, get out of the damn way. I could walk around you. And that's the other part of the tribe thing. If you fall down, our job as the tribe is to pick you up, not kick you as we go by. And we're also going to protect you from those that are kicking you as you go by. Our job is to take those people out or push them out of the way and say, listen, you do your
own invite them in and teach them a better way of being.
Or invite them. You're being kind. Invite them in. Invite them in. Don't get the hell away.
This rageful margarita that everybody's used to, this what? Put the phone down, drive to your house, kick your door in, or have my bat beaten in. Then I went to Spain. Then my husband died and I went to Spain. And I left a lot of my rage there. And it's happy. So before I was like that. I didn't care who you were, how you bled if you crossed me. Now I'm like, okay, this person must be hurting. This person must have been wronged and doesn't know how to forgive themselves, knowing that they had no part in it. They were just wounded. And how to forgive to heal that. So yeah, I'm with you. Kick them, throw them out, whatever. Or say, I'll give you a trial period.
Yeah, invite them in first. So thank you, Gladiator Guru.
No.
Invite them in first.
I listened to you and I was like, oh my God, did I rub off on her? No.
You did, but you got me that was me, the other piece. And you gave me the tough piece, but you're right. We'll bring them in. But if we find that they are disrupting the tribe, see, there's a difference between being your own disruptor and disrupting other people because you are coming from a scarcity mindset. That's different. Being a disruptor for yourself, if it affects other people, that's not your problem. But if you are purposely disrupting other people, then we don't want you a part of the tribe until you figure it out. We're going to help you figure it out. But if you refuse, if that is your purpose in life, then get the fuck out, because that is not, we have enough of that in life. We have enough knocking us down. We have enough people stepping over us, holding us down. We are going to gently pick you up and help you. But if you are going to continue, if we're going to see you knocking people down on our path along the way, then we're going to make sure that we kick you to the side pretty quickly.
Yeah, or we're going to bulldoze over, because let me tell you, as coaches, we offer different. I'm more of the spiritual, feed your spirit, nurture your ego. She's change your mindset, shift your mindset, shift
mind shit to mind shit.
It all goes in. But you know what? As coaches, we have a responsibility to watch people. I love to people watch. I'll go to the mall just to people watch. I've done that since my 20s. And yeah, there's some people that absolutely don't want to make a choice to be the best they can be. Those are the ones you say, I can't work with you until you work with yourself. Then you got the ones that are on the fence. Well, I want to be better. I don't know how, so I'm only going to do what I know how. Those are the people you start to gravitate towards, to talk to, just to listen, to see where they're at. Then you got the people who really want to do it, but don't think they have the strength to do it. Those are the ones you're like, you know what? You fucked up. You fucked up. And you didn't breathe. You didn't count to 3 and breathe. And you reacted. But we're going to give you a shot. Come in. Because there's something about your spirit that I like. And then she'll say, you said something that caught my attention. Come in. And that's how we work with people. So we're open for coaching. You know,
yes,
know how to reach us. If you need somebody that needs coaching, we're here. That is what we do. I got yelled at from the Badass Buddha. She goes, you don't promote yourself enough for coaching.
No, she doesn't.
Well, if I tell you how many phone calls I get that are non-paid coaching, I'm busy. But you know, there's time to pay. And so I'm dead.
No, I was going to say, so really quickly, because we're at the end, but just want to put this out. So Tuesday nights, we have Margarita's brought this back. Gladiator Guru's brought it back. Moments con Margarita on her Facebook channel. So tune into that. It's 30 minutes. You know, it's 30 minutes of beautiful insight. So tune into that. Support. Okay. And if you can't watch live, watch it at another time and share it so that it's just more information. You don't even, you can be cooking dinner or doing whatever you want while you're doing it, just to listen, just to be present. I have a workshop coming up this week called The Man Plan. If you know anyone that is looking for a new relationship and has really bombed out over the years, then join me for this. It's all about creating and manifesting. And it's Thursday night. Just go to my to my Facebook channel or Viva. We're going to be posting our stuff on the Viva channel as well. So just look it up. It's on Eventbrite. And then next week, my workshop is he cheating? And it's about deception, the deception detection. And I have a special guest, Jeanette, who was the person that we had on the Viva show. It doesn't have to be specific to cheating. It's just understanding how to read people. So it's going to be very informative.
And be informative. It's what is cheating? People think sex is cheating, and it starts way before that. I can't wait to be on it. Let's be on it. If not for ourselves, for just to know, to be in the know.
Yeah, just for anything. Yeah.
To have that information and then find yourself in a position where somebody's like, I think he's cheating. Then you can say, well, you can ask, well, what are the signs? Because sometimes we overthink, you know,
that's correct.
Jealous and possessive and controlling that we lead, you know, we believe they are when they're not, and then they will, because that's how you're accusing me of something I ain't doing.
You opened it up. Oh, it's a good idea.
But listen, Moments con Margarita tonight at 7 p.m. on my Facebook page live. Last week we talked about being ridiculously curious about you. And tonight we're going to piggyback on that with self-trust, because in order to be curious about yourself, you got to learn how to trust yourself. So tune in 7 p.m. tonight.
And always go to our Facebook channel on Viva to be able to see what's going on with us, what's coming up. Gladiator Guru and I are very dedicated this year to be putting out a lot of content. If you want to work with us, all you have to do is go to at the end of every description of our videos, every single one, there is maybe not in the beginning. So at least for 2021, there are links to schedule a consultation with us. So, you know, this is our year. Our year is to really just branch out and do what we do best. And we appreciate it. And don't forget to like, share, comment, follow us, put the notifications in so you know when we're coming up. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let people know about us. We want to really step up because we are badass. We are warriors. We are gladiators. We are part of the tribe. We're going to take you with us. And we want to see us seriously. I'm telling you, every time I look at it, I think it's a penis.
It's a feather. Fucking hero.
It always looks like a penis to me, a red penis, but I don't know.
And the mugs are going to come back out with the saying on it and being magically orgasmic. So stay tuned for that. It'll be a minute. But yes, so
Time for us to
Three
go.
things real quick. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Be your super fucking hero every day that you're alive and viewing and smelling and tasting and hearing and touching and being touched on. Oof, I missed that. Anyway.
All right. Chenille's in for the ride. Thank you, Chenille. You have been one of our, there's some of you that have been hella supportive and right there with us. Chenille, Yritza,
Oh my God.
Tiffany.
Iritza
We
brought her own
really
tribe.
appreciate it. And Liza, we appreciate it. We really
love
do.
you.
And we apologize if I left somebody out. So we will get you those. So thank you so much for coming on today. We'll see Thursday. We have What's Your Perfect Relationship? Learning to become one with self and unity with mind, body, spirit with our guest Radavi Rayom. So don't miss that one. And all right, we're ready to go. Have a pleasant Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Share, subscribe, like, notification. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, be extraordinary.
Yes, and remember, no te engañe. And breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.